Hey you guys, I'm back. Yes, I know it has been a very, very, very long time. Very long time. This is going to be the quickest Get Ready With Me in the history of Get Ready With Me's. We're really literally jumping right into it. I know it has been almost a year since I've done my last video. The last video was a breast reduction post-op video. And just a quick update on that. I am doing so good. My breasts are now at a comfortable size. They're where I'd like them to be, not too small, not too big. They're there. So the first big thing I've been doing, yes, everybody has been asking so many questions. I had a baby. Yes, I had a beautiful baby boy. The next video will definitely be the process of that, how it went, how my pregnancy went, how labor went, how it was delivering a baby, being paralyzed. It was amazing, honestly. I guess I could say that's kind of why I'm, doing such a quick Get Ready With Me, because he's literally next to me sleeping as I'm doing this video. And if you know, okay? The girls who get it, and the ones who don't. But trying to do a video and you got a baby next to you, okay, you have to race against time, literally. Maybe every couple seconds, I just kept looking over at him like, is he going to keep cooperating? But all in all, you guys, he's a great baby. He is. He's very calm. He's very chill. But it's like, I honestly think that babies get a instinct. Like, when y'all just sitting there chilling, you could have been laying there, your baby in his little pack and play crib, whatever you use, he in there minding his business. You could have been sitting there for 37 minutes and 52 seconds. But the minute you decide that you want to get up and do something, it's time to wake up. They woke. They don't want to sleep no more. But God must have been on my side, because he slept through the whole video. And honestly, right now the video is only like 20 minutes, but it's fast forwarded. Altogether, the video was like 40 minutes. So he gave me about a good hour. So yes, let's jump into it. We had the breast reduction. That was October 21st of last year. So when I went to get my breast reduction last year, they straight cast, because sometimes I can't empty my bladder all the way like I'm supposed to. And we needed to do a pregnancy test before the surgery. They do a pregnancy test before any major surgery. So, after they did the blood work to see if I was pregnant, the lady came back and she asked me, she was like, ma'am, is there any way you could be pregnant? I'm like, well, I partake in activities, but, it wasn't a suspicion or anything. Why? She's like, it looks like you might be pregnant. I'm like, girl, bullshit, get out of here. Like, that literally was what came out of my mouth. Bullshit, get out of here. Now, mind you, I was on FaceTime with my mother when the lady came in and told me this. So that definitely caught me off guard. I'm like, oh, let me call you back. She like, pregnant? I'm like, gotta go, call you back. So needless to say, my mother was the first one to find out. Afterwards, they did a urine test, and it came back negative. So boom, we proceeded with the surgery. Now, when I came out of anesthesia, I was thinking like, okay, I know I wasn't tripping. I'm pretty sure that lady told me I was probably pregnant before this. So I contacted my doctor. I was actually really scared to push the morphine drip. I don't know if you guys remember, but I'm allergic to NSAID. So it's a lot of medications I can't take. Tylenol, acetaminophen, ibuprofen, Motrin, any type of NSAID, natural steroid, anti-inflammatories. I can't take any of those. So I was on a Dilaudid and a morphine drip for the pain from after the breast reduction. And I was actually scared to push it, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure that lady told me I was pregnant. So a week after my surgery, I got on my chart and I wrote my doctor and I asked her, I'm like, can you look at my blood work before my surgery? Because she told me, the nurse that I had told me that I might be pregnant. So I just needed to, see what was going on. They looked at my HCG. What it was anything under 5, you are not pregnant. Anything over 26, you're pregnant. Mine was 12, so I was smack dab in the middle. So she's like, it may just be too early, but it does look like you're pregnant, so you should do a pregnancy test. I'm like, well, I'm supposed to start my cycle Tuesday. I think it was probably like Friday or something. So I'm like, if I don't start, I'll take a test, whatever. You guys, I take a test the day I was supposed to start. I'm like, oh, it's probably too early. It probably won't come back right. So I took one of the 6 days sooner pregnancy tests, the Clear Blue, if anybody's looking for any recommendations. I took it the day I was supposed to start. And sure as shit, your girl was pregnant, okay? My aunt was the first one to find out. Well, the first one to find out legitimately that I was pregnant. My mother was the first one to overhear it, but my aunt was there with me when I took the pregnancy test. And you guys, I just bust out crying. Like, I was so ecstatic. I was cheesing. I was smiling so hard. My cheeks was hurting. It definitely was not planned, and it was very unexpected, but I just instantly knew, like, God sent this baby to me. Like, I was supposed to have this baby. So, yes, I found out I was pregnant a little bit before Thanksgiving. It was the end of October. I had the surgery October 21st. I found out before Thanksgiving. It was just a lot. Like, chaotic that is the simplest way I can describe it. But I was definitely very, very, very excited. Of course, you guys know I have my own health issues. So we had to figure out if I could still take my seizure medications. That itself is a whole nother story. I initially was taken off of my seizure medications because my PCP did not think it was safe. So I was off of my seizure meds. And close to my second trimester, going into my second trimester, I started having very bad seizures. And I was admitted into the ICU. I think I had seizures for maybe like 3 days straight. So they put me to sleep because I just kept seizing. So they put me to sleep, and once OB came up to ICU and checked on me, they told them that, I should not have been taking off my seizure meds. They could have just switched me to a safer one or lowered the dose, but I should not have been taken off of them. So it did, take a couple days to get it back in my system. I was getting it through the IV, so, it got back in faster. But it did take a couple days to get it all regulated and get me back to normal. And after that, then I took my seizure meds like I was supposed to. So I did stop seizing initially. But I found out that I am one in few women that have something called hyperemesis gravidinum something. It's called HG for short. Y'all know we don't do good with all these medical words, but it's called HG for short. So basically, it is just extreme morning sickness. I don't mean just like, I'm nauseous. I couldn't keep water down. I couldn't keep water, Gatorade, crackers, Jell-O, applesauce, nothing down. When I first got pregnant, I was about 180 pounds. I delivered at 150 pounds. I got so sick my entire pregnancy. And eventually I did end up starting to seize again. And not because I wasn't taking the medicine, but this time because the medicine wasn't staying down. So needless to say, I had a very high risk pregnancy. Very, very, very high risk pregnancy. It was very stressful. It was times I didn't think like God, I can't do it. Like I wanted to, but I can't. My body's not letting me. I'm scared, and then once you get so far along in the pregnancy, now you're worried about losing the baby and you've already become so attached. I literally felt his first kick the day I turned 21 weeks. And it caught me off guard. I was laying there, I was on my phone, and I felt something, but I didn't initially think it was a kick. It literally felt like a flutter. And I'm like, what the heck? And it clicked. I swear to God, it was like in a movie. You guys, it instantly clicked in my head like, that was him. My baby kicked. And I actually found out early that it was a boy. I found out at about 12 weeks, I think. It was about 11 or 12 weeks because I did do the genetic testing. I did the blood work. And when you do the genetic testing to test for, Down syndrome or anything like that, then you're able to find out the gender early. So I did find out the gender early. I have a bunch of ultrasounds. In the next video, we're definitely going to go more in depth. It won't be a makeup video, but it will literally just be me explaining my pregnancy, explaining labor, all of that. Speaking of, I have got DM'd a lot of questions about how my labor went. Okay, so my baby did come almost 2 months early. He was 6 weeks exactly, or like 6 weeks early. I delivered him at 33 weeks and 6 days. He came at 11:36. If he would have came almost half an hour later, I would have been 34 weeks on the mark. But, he was stubborn. He was ready to come. That was the hardest time of my life. I cannot stress this enough. Those 2.5 weeks that he was in the NICU was the hardest thing I've ever endured. I have been on life support like 4 times. I've been intubated. I've had COVID. I have fought for my life. That was harder than when I became paralyzed, because now it's like, this is my baby. Like, this is bigger than me. This is bigger than my health. This is bigger than anything. This is my child, my baby. And every day just literally rolling in there, I was on a whirlwind of emotions. I had just had a baby. I'm supposed to be recovering, but I can't, because I'm at the NICU with him every day, because I refuse to let a day go by to where I'm not at that hospital with him. I was there from sun up to sundown. Some days I stayed there overnight. They don't suggest it, but some days I just couldn't help it. I couldn't leave my baby. I needed him, and I knew he needed me. He was there for exactly 2.5 weeks. He was 4 pounds, 10.4 ounces when I delivered, and he was a beautiful, healthy baby boy. I just instantly fell in love. So the day my water broke, I actually was wearing the robe that I'm wearing in this video. I had started feeling sick that morning. I got up, went to the restroom. I had to pee, of course. And I went to go fix something to eat, but I felt really nauseous. I was going to fix me some cereal. Of course, I was in and out of the hospital with the morning sickness. So what it was I'd go in, they'd give me, I was on a cocktail of medications: promethazine, Benadryl, Regulin, Zofran, a scopolamine patch, and like 2 other medications, all for morning sickness, because I couldn't keep anything down and I was losing so much weight. The baby was underweight because of the hyperemesis. So, fast forward back to labor. The day, what it was I would go in for like 2 weeks. They'd give me the medications through the IV, get me back stable. They'd see if I could, keep food down, and then send me on my way. Each time I was there no less than 2 weeks, no more than 3 weeks. I think the longest I was there was about 3.5, going on 4 weeks. But, okay, fast forward. I'm sorry. I got distracted to the day my water broke. I was hungry. I just went to go to the bathroom. And when I was fixing me some cereal, I got super, super nauseous. Like, a wave of it just hit me. And I had been doing good. So I'm like, not this again. So I go to the bathroom and I started, getting sick. I was throwing up and I thought I peed on myself because I heard liquid hit the floor. But I physically saw that I did not throw up on the floor. So I thought I peed. I'm in my mind, y'all, I kid y'all not, this is literally what went through my mind. I'm like, I know I did not just throw up so hard I peed on myself. Because I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning of my pregnancy that happened, I was throwing up so hard I peed. So I'm like, but I couldn't have, because I just went to the bathroom, so that can't be pee. And it was, it was quite a bit. So I'm like, okay, I had called my child's father. No, my child's father had just told me he was on his way home. So I'm like, okay, let me take a shower and get cleaned up, because I knew if he saw that and I'd tell him like, oh, I peed, he was going to talk about me like a dog. He was going to talk about me bad, okay? We got a real bad sense of humor, and he would have been calling me pissy and all types of stuff. So I'm like, yeah, we ain't even finna do this. Let me get in this shower. So, y'all, I done put I'm obviously not finna eat my cereal and stuff. So I'm getting ready to get in the shower. And as I lift myself, I lift up on my arms and I go to transfer onto my shower chair, more fluid comes out. And I start panicking because I'm like, no. It can't be my water. Like, he's too early. And it instantly, clicked in my mind. My water broke. So I called my friend Corey. I called the baby's dad. And I called my mom, I'm telling them all, like, I think my water broke. I just called the ambulance. I'm about to be on my way to the hospital. And sure enough, maybe like 30 minutes after they got there, got me situated, contractions started coming. So I'm like, yes, my water definitely broke. And honestly, it was not unbearable. I imagined it to be unbearable, the worst pain ever. Honestly, from the way people make it seem, I thought it was going to be the worst thing I ever felt. to me, you know, everybody is different, so I cannot say what it's like for everyone. But for me, my personal experience, they just felt like really, really bad cramps. And I don't have a problem with cramps, so I can say really, really bad cramps because that's my version of it. But we got there. They got me hooked up to everything, and his dad got there. Now, his dad has a very weak stomach, so I'm trying to, you know, stay calm. But he's in the middle of getting sick because these people done poked me to start drawing blood, you know, start the process of labor. And when he saw them pulling my blood, this man ran to the bathroom to go get sick. I'm like, boy, you're supposed to be helping me. But anyways, my mom was there. So they allow you to have 2 people in there, you know, with COVID. It used to be you could have as many people as you want, but with COVID, you're allowed 1, and in certain circumstances, 2 people. Because of the paralysis, and we didn't know how it was going to go with, like, who's going to hold my legs, who's going to support, whatever. They allowed me to have 2 people, and I chose my mom and my child's father. And honestly, it was a smooth labor. I labored for 13 hours, but I was contracting for 13 hours. And then when it came time to push, he was out in 2 pushes. Now, I honestly feel like it had a lot to do with him being early and him only being 4 pounds. He was almost too much early, so he probably would have been bigger he definitely would have been bigger when I had him. But at the time of him only being 4 pounds, he was out in 2 pushes. I was able to feel it. My paralysis starts like a couple inches under my butt cheek, so I was able to feel him coming out. I felt the whole process of labor, contractions in my butt, contractions in my back, the pressure, everything. Y'all, when they say that getting ready to push literally feel like you got a boo-boo, y'all, I ain't never been so frustrated because it was like being constipated and you couldn't get it out, okay? It was very infuriating. And they did prop me up on the peanut ball. So they have 2 balls, you know, the big yoga ball and then the peanut ball. I couldn't get on the yoga one because clearly I can't balance with the, you know, paralysis and everything. I don't have the leg support. So what they did was they turned me on my side and, you know, somebody placed the ball in between my legs and they placed my other leg on top. If that is a good enough visual. I can insert a video at the end. It's a quick little clip, I think like a couple seconds, just to give you guys a visual of what I mean. But honestly, y'all, it was a beautiful experience. I had my music. Of course, the contractions did hurt. It did get a little scary in the beginning. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I started crying and I told my mom, like, I don't want to die. Because I just got, like, a really bad tingling feeling all over my body. Like, something is not finna go right. And they came and told me, you know, my blood pressure was too high. My blood pressure was, like, 160 over 1 something. So I was getting ready to stroke out, but it was just from the contractions. But honestly, I didn't feel like I was in that much pain. But I guess it was like, you know, with all the autoimmune disorders I have and the stress and just the active labor, it was, you know, stressing my body out some. So we did end up going with the epidural, which they told me that I couldn't do it because it could send me into autoreflexia, which basically your nervous system would go haywire and you could get really sick and a lot could go on. But honestly, it was more of a risk to not do the epidural, and it really didn't even help for the contractions anyways. But it did get my blood pressure down. I took a quick little nap and then we labored for the rest of the 13 hours. He got ready to come. You know, they did the Pitocin that night because they technically don't do Pitocin until 34 weeks. But he was like a half hour shy of 34 weeks. So they went ahead and did it just because I had labored all day. And I wasn't really making progress with contractions. Everybody's different because I have a friend who the Pitocin didn't work for. But me, it was time to push almost 30 minutes after they gave it to me. So, you know, to each his own. It works for some people. It doesn't for some, you know, whatever. I was just one of the lucky ones who Pitocin worked for. And he was out. I remember they told me that it was time for me to, you know, put the band back on my belly. I'm like, don't touch me. They're like, I know you want to monitor his heart. I know you want to be able to hear him and check on him. We got to make sure he's okay. He's not in distress. I said, do not touch me. So my mom had left to go check on my siblings. And when she came back, you know, they tell her, we really need to put the band on. My mom's like, you know, don't you want to check on the baby? I looked at her. I said, do not touch me. My mom was like, don't touch her. Don't touch her. So they like, well, we're going to go get the doctor. I'm like, go get him. I don't give a damn. Go get him. Shit, maybe he can get this baby out of me. And they came back and I'm like, can you check anyways? Because I feel like I gotta poop. Like, I'm tired of this. Something gotta give. Y'all, I'm rolling around the bed. I'm having them change me. I'm going through it. changing positions, all type of stuff. And finally they came in. They're like, okay, we're gonna check. So they checked my cervix again, and she's like, oh, she's complete, she's fully dilated. So they came in, you know, of course they had the ICU team come in and get everything prepared because he was very early, so he had to go straight to the NICU. I said ICU, NICU. They came in, had the warmer. I pushed in 2 pushes. My mom held one leg, I held the other, and his dad was like right behind me because, like I said, he has a weak stomach. So he was right behind me, and yeah, they like, okay, we're gonna push. I had heard about the ring of fire, so I thought it was gonna burn and like be really painful. It didn't burn. It just got super, super tight. Like I felt the stretch, and I thought like I was getting ready for the burn, but I guess that was the ring of fire they were talking about. So I pushed it one time. They're like, okay, one more big push. And he slid right on out. It was the craziest thing I'd ever felt in my life, but it was such a relief. And he slid out. They got him. They placed him on me. And my heart stopped. Like my heart just melted. And of course, they had to take him right to the warmer, which I'm glad they did because he had some breathing issues at first. He was on the CPAP, and we'll go more into that in the next video. But yes, that is basically a sped up version of my pregnancy and how my labor went. This was really just an introduction back into, hey, you guys, I'm back. Let's do this, and getting back into doing my videos and stuff. But yeah, so that's what you guys have missed. That's what I've been busy doing, needless to say. Oh, and I moved again. So we definitely needed more space, me and him. The baby has his own room. Of course, he sleeps in my room. But just when he is bigger and it is time to transition into his own room, we'll have it instead of having to stress about finding a room. And he started making noise, so I picked him up. And yes, this is how it turned out. This is our welcome back. Hi, Hunka Hunka. These are just some quick clips of how the makeup turned out. See you guys next time. Hey, pretty girl. Here are just a couple of the quick clips. I told you guys I would insert a couple videos of labor, a couple videos with the peanut ball. My labor buddy. His dad was very helpful. His dad was supportive. He was there the whole time. Like I said, my mom and my child's dad was there. I really hate the term baby daddy. I'm just gonna have to get used to saying it. My mother and my baby daddy was there. There's a couple of clips of us in the NICU, like here. He was in the NICU, like I said, for 2.5 weeks. So, you know, good, bad, ugly, and sad. I just really cherish videos and pictures and, you know, memories. So I did get a couple. He was so tiny, you guys. Look at him. Look at that little face. He really looked Asian, y'all. I promise his dad is not Asian, but he definitely looked like it. He still does this to this day. Like when he's sleeping, he'll peek an eye open. That's his NG2, by the way. He couldn't eat on his own yet. They didn't allow him to start trying to eat till like a week of being in the NICU. That was kind of frustrating because it, of course, prolonged his stay. But he was just so cute and sweet, and I would hold him every day. I'd go up there, and they actually say it helps the baby get better. So Mama was giving him all the lovin's. Look at those smiles. Look at that. Hi there, Mama Hunka Hunka. Y'all, I'm so in love. I know it sounds like so cliche and, you know, but he changed me. He did. And that's him now. Mommy big boy. I'ma get you. I'ma get you. Mommy gonna get you. Mommy gonna get you. Nah, my baby is a healthy 15 pounds, okay? Mommy gonna get you. I'm gonna get the baby. I'm gonna get the baby. Babies be stopping everything when they see you recording. Yeah. He like, you ain't slick. I see that. Oh, and there go his fine ass mama. Don't mind my edges, because boy, that postpartum shedding is real. But that's okay, because you're going to make a comeback.